Hello everyone, welcome back. Another build video for Guild Wars 2. First of all, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It massively helps the channel as well as getting these videos found out by other people. Don't forget to press subscribe as well. Check out the Patreon to get these videos sometimes a little bit earlier depending on when they get them out. Otherwise, welcome back. I hope you're good. New Year's has happened. We're back. I am back. I was just cracking my knuckles there. A beautiful sounding job. And the 5v5 season is back in PvP. And don't forget that the 2v2 is now over, which has just been happening. Now, if you haven't been playing, it's a good time to get back into the game. Because why not? It's January. The expansion is supposed to be coming this year. It's a good time to get back into it. Maybe get on start farming for some legendaries and stuff. Just having fun. Playing some PvP. Why the hell not? Now, you know, obviously, that I play engineer probably the most, but second to that, third to that, I guess, as well, is going to be the Guardian and the Necro. But there has been some movement. I have been as you saw last season, I was playing support Guardian, old school core, and this past month in December, a few of the Team USA guys, as you've seen in my VODs as well as I casted it, actually lost to some EU guys. And Edison, who is on the NA server, who was on FIF, and Core Guardian was played. Core Support Guardian was played. And it was pretty much this build. So I'm going to go through it. It's not a massive change from kind of what I was running before, because it's Core Guardian, but heal and different stuff like that. But also the healing signet, res signet, sorry, signet of mercy. So if you're looking to play support this season, there's either this or the warrior shout build. Now, people will probably say that the shout warrior build is better. Even the guy who is playing this in the final of the NA monthly, it was Blackjack, sorry, who was a support in the World Tournament Series 2015 back then, when he won a championship and has been a high level player on EU and different times on NA as well. And you could want to play the warrior build as well, but I actually think the warrior build is kind of boring just because I like Guardian more personally. So if you play Guardian or you want to play Guardian, this build is actually quite easy to play as well. And really, you can play it with a couple of different variations, and I'm going to give you weapon differences as well with the shield. Shield's still probably what you want to take, and some different options. And hopefully, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm going to go through this very quickly. No, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through every single bloody thing. So, actually, first of all, what I'm going to do is going to go through equipment. Now, Mender's amulet, obviously it's going to be your amulet that you're going to choose because it's supportive. It gives you healing power. That's pretty much the main reason, and vitality as well as power precision. It gives you a bit of damage. That's nice and fine and dandy. Actually quite nice for staff as well, because you can do a little bit of extra damage, but mainly it's your big healing power, vitality, or defense. Rune of Soldier is a big reason why this build is quite good in terms of synergy as well, because shouts are going to remove conditions. Ta-da! Remove condition from each affected ally after using a shout. And that is going to be the heal as well, because that is going to be the shout heal we're going to use rather than the actual kind of block, or obviously, you know, the other options there as well, signet and whatnot. Makes the most sense in this build. The other option is shelter, of course, where you can block attacks as well. Gives you a little bit of defense. It's only a 2-second block, but still that can help you a lot. But you get a lot of survivability in this build, even though if you get focused by power builds, you can go down quite quickly. But you have got a lot of defense in this build in terms of Aegis, in terms of invulnerability as well from renewed focus as well, and your elite skill and different skills keeping you up, things like stability, stun breaks, blah blah blah, shield knockback, etc., which can help you to survive some of this damage. Other things we're going for. Staff, of course. Staff has got a lot of defensive utility with it. You've got things like line of warding, obviously. That can force a stun break out of people. It can force a stability use out of people, which, you know, stability isn't as... it's not as present as it used to be, of course. Empower is quite good as well because you can channel healing and might to nearby allies. Completing this channel grants more health to your allies. It gives it HP and it gives you those stacks of might. So it's going to be 12 stacks. Pretty quick as well. You can go for quickness rune if you wanted to on that, if you really wanted to pop that might off. Also you get symbol of swiftness, which gives you a combo light field, which you can blast with your second ability, which can also do condition removal. You can also heal people with that second ability as well. It's nice, isn't it? Ult of Wrath is just heal, is just damage. Damage foes. Fire projectile that explodes upon impact and damaging enemies. A fire projectile that explodes upon contact and damages enemies. So that's your damage ability. Really, you can still do a bit of damage, of course, with similar swiftness, and you do damage with Holy Strike. Actually, you actually do a fair little bit of damage with this. Let's actually just pump up the might there. That's a fair amount of damage. I mean, 1,000. It's not the worst, you know. You see, even just with like staff though, you can apply a tiny little bit of pressure. It's not much. You know, if you're 2v2 and you're not really having to, and you're just using your utilities skills to remove conditions, you can still apply some pressure. It's not awful. It's something, you know. And obviously, you know, when might's off cooldown, go for an empower, go back, boom. You can stick out a little bit of extra damage, put some AoE on the point. Look, almost got 2k there. Just with that second skill. Damn. Anyway. We've got Sigil of Intelligence on staff as well. Big staff. Intelligence means obviously as well that you're going to get some crits, which is applicable to the rest of the build because you want to get some crits off, and this is why, you know, precision is quite good in this build, because if you crit, you're going to be able to get some energy back. I'm going to show you why that's good in a moment, because dodging is good for healing. Because at the end of the dodge roll, you can heal. I'll show you why again soon. Let's go into the rest of the build. Of course, sword is probably going to be better. I would say in 5v5 and 2v2s I've been using mace, because mace is actually very, very, very supportive. This second mace ability gives you a lot of healing and is in a big AoE as well. It gives off 5 stacks of regeneration. Pretty crazy. Well, I mean 5, you know what I'm talking about. It comes up 5 times. Just read the ability and that might actually make some sense. Smash a Mystic symbol onto the ground that damages foes and regenerates allies. So there you go. Regen popping up every so often. Symbol duration is 4 seconds. Sorry, you get that 4 or 5 procs of regen. So I think it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So that's what it means. Not 5 stacks, but you know what I mean, like seconds pretty much. And that's good for regenerating you, keeping you up and alive, of course. And you've got Protector's Strike, so you're going to get some protection. You'll be able to get some Aegis as well, which is always good. But that, remember, so protects allies from next coming attack against them and lash out when attacked, granting boons to nearby allies and fully charging the passive burning effect. Okay? Ooh, that's nice, I hear you say. It is indeed. And also we have a shield, which is going to give protection. Not only does this protection go to allies in the cone in front of you, but also goes to yourself. And then shield, obviously, if you use that before the cast bar runs off, you are able to produce a little heal, which is a base heal of 1,500, which is very awesome. So, what else is going on in the rest of this build? Don't forget, I forgot, I did tell you about Rune of the Soldier, so it gives you some toughness as well as vitality and removing those conditions as well. In terms of sigils wise, we've got energy because we want that, because we want to get as much energy as we possibly can, because we're healing on dodge, which is awesome. So we're trying to keep that as much as possible. Energy regen is good. Cleansing, when we swap to this weapon, obviously removing condition is great. That's for our own survivability. And obviously getting that crit from intelligence, which we'll talk about in a moment. So I am really rattling on, and we've already been going for 10 minutes. Jesus, Jebro, come on. Honor, big honor. So gain vigor when you critically strike, which is here. Your next 3 attacks after swapping to this weapon in combat have 100% critical strike. This is good. Vigor gives us energy regeneration, which is going to help with our dodging, because at the end of our dodge roll, heals nearby allies, and that is a base of 729. You can get 1.5 to 2k heals. You used to be able to anyway. I can't remember. I'd have to watch a VOD, or you could even watch the VOD I just posted of my 2v2 gameplay, which is pretty damn awesome. When you go for a res as well, you cast Lesser Shield of Absorption when you begin reviving an ally. Shield Absorption revives allies when it detonates as well, so it helps revive a little bit as it detonates, so it's a faster, cheeky little res as well. It's just a bit like Well of Blood in a way, not massively, but it still gives you a little bit of a boost. It just helps reviving. If you're playing support, you should probably be going for this. It is your best utility here, to be fair, as a support. Or, I mean, increase your healing to other allies each time you block an attack, I guess. But this is good. Really good, strong utility anyway. Always has been. End of the dodge roll heals, as we said. Gain concentration and gain additional concentration while wielding a staff, and staff skills recharge time is reduced. You obviously have a lot of options here. You can either go for that, or you can go for Aegis heals when it blocks an attack. There's a lot of Aegis you're giving out here, especially on your shield. You're now Aegis on Shield of Judgment. You got Aegis here already all the time. Virtue of Courage, especially if you really focus, you get it back again. You get Aegis from Protective Strike. You know, you're able to get Aegis from a lot of places, especially naturally proccing up throughout this build. So again, this is up to you. Staff is nice to have as well, especially if you can get that swiftness up a lot and you're not using sword here. Because sword is really good to get you around the map in PvP and Guild Wars 2. Sword is going to help you get onto those points quicker. It's not just about the swiftness. Ports are good. So most people are probably going to use sword in this build if they're playing it. I will still try mace early season and see how it goes. See how my movement is and rotations around the map and whatnot as well. Virtue Skill 2 passive also regenerates endurance. Endurance regeneration increased by 15%. Boom. Awesome. Lovely. We'll have some of that passive love. Shout skills gain reduced recharge and convert conditions to boons on allies. Conditions to boons on allies. Reason we got retreat is 4-second recharge. Boom, use that. 4-second recharge. And you're going to be able to grab yourself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, not 4-second recharge. 4-second chance until you can use it again. My bad. And then obviously you've got the recharge of the skill there as well. Where is that? Am I being stupid here? Wait, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't say there. 4-second recharge. Maximum count 2. Yeah, it's more than that. I don't know what the actual. Let me just show you. Doesn't show you the maximum recharge of the whole thing. Let's go and have a look quick. 24 seconds. There you go. It's more like it. But you can get more than one count of it, of course. The 4 seconds there on that is the next time you can use the ability. It's a little bit incorrect. What they normally have, actually. Anyway, just ignore me. Let's continue. Valor. So gain Aegis when you're struck below the health threshold. So that's another point of contact for Aegis if you do want to go for Pure of Heart, which is a very popular choice, as well as going for honorable stuff. Strength of the Fallen. So lose conditions every interval. Health degenerates more slowly while downed as well, which is very good. Every 10 seconds you lose a condition. So if people are like Burn Guardian and stuff, that's a good, if that's the only condition they're applying, that condition is going to drop off you every so often. The same with anything, you know, if it's just one condition, that's going to fall off you, you know. So if you're versus power, it's actually not too bad. There's not that extra pressure there, but also just extra condition pressure in fights is horrible. Chance of that falling off, you know, you're removing a lot of conditions. You don't get a lot of conditions on you, like for a lot. I don't know. They don't last very long, basically. You've normally got something to get rid of them. Okay, and your versus, if your versus conditions, like in 2v2s, when I was versus like condition classes, they were screwed. They couldn't do anything. Every single game I won against condition classes, every game, pretty much nearly every single 2v2. If you're versus like 3 or 4 condition classes on the enemy team, you're on rotating really well, you're gonna do well in this build. You just are. It's just a fact. Whew. Yeah, I like this build, it's fun. Lose conditions every interval. Gain protection when you block an incoming attack with Aegis. Again, a lot of protection, so that's going to be good versus power builds. Gain toughness when wielding a shield, and shield skills gain reduced recharge. Now, if you're going versus something like a necro, you got 2 versus 2 necros, one's condition and one's power, and they're both still going for lich. You know, shield is going to be still very, very strong for you, as well as giving protection, and also just popping that shield up to block those projectiles that are coming in, as well as other projectiles from like rangers, from, you know, grenade engineers, from so many people. And actually often at some point in time, like, you might want to switch in, I don't know, Wall of Reflection, even for your Signet of Mercy, who you maybe, you never know, depends. If you're versus projectile classes, Guardian hates on all those projectiles quite heavily. It's pretty nice, actually. Might of the Protector, so gain might when you block attacks, so you have quite a lot of might as well throughout the fights and everything else, but you're not really doing a lot of damage. So, you know, it's just passive damage, kind of doing from the staff, auto attacks almost to a degree in the second ability and third, and sword if you choose to use that over mace. And then heal yourself when you grant a boon to an ally. So when you are using your condition removal through your shouts, you are removing conditions and giving them a boon, which is awesome. And then finally you've got virtues, and that's the standard pretty much there. So virtues apply boons to allies when activated. You got might, obviously you got regen on the second ability and protection on the third. And this is giving you protection, and it's giving you stability, as well as a bit of retaliation there as well, because of Virtue of Retribution. So you gain retaliation when you activate a virtue, and it has increased duration. So that's going to reflect damage back to its source, which is awesome. Very defensive. Absolute Resolution. That's like, you can spam those in an emergency, use renewed focus and come back and have these back up. It's a good emergency kind of crap yourself move. I'm very good at those. Absolute Resolution, activating Virtue Skill 2, removes conditions from nearby allies. Virtue Skill 2's passive effect is stronger, so 15% endurance regeneration, 540 heal, conditions removed free, don't forget, that's free on top of the 2 from the self condition removal there as well. And then we've got Power of the Virtuous Steel, increased damage for each boon on you. Again, you know, you're not really there for damage, but okay. And then Indomitable Courage gives you stability as well as everything else. So that's going to be a big stun break for you, as well as your stun break, which is going to be stand your ground, don't forget. And a big thing in this build, a big difference, 2 big differences, of course, receive the light. So don't forget, when you're healing, if this is your ally here, you're breathing healing air, okay, onto your allies. So you want to make sure you're kind of doing that in a cone, you're close to them, and you're kind of feeling that heal. It's a little tiny bit similar to the kind of Ellie heal, I guess, the Tempest heal, where you have to be around them, but that's just a circle. This is more like in front. They have to be there right close up to you. Well, pretty close. You can be fair distance off. What's the range on this? Self heal is massive. Per pulse you get like 5 pulses, so well, it's just under 5k. Kind of in front of you. What's the range? Does it even say? 600. It's not too bad, to be fair. So yeah, it's just on the edge of that kind of breath, I guess, in a way. And also Don't spam these too much. Signet of Mercy. So this is improving your concentration. Ooh. How much concentration we got? Where are we? Good lord, what's the matter with me? And don't forget, concentration is boon duration. 240 there should be good. Pretty nice, isn't it? Ooh. So it improves that, and that's not really, you know, it just improves it a bit. That's okay. Gives you 120 concentration, sorry. But it's the res is the big one. And the cooldown is only 1.5 minutes. That's actually not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. I've been able to use that quite often in 2v2s because of how long fights goes. Now, that could be, what is that, 1.5 minutes, 15 minutes, you know. That's a fair amount of reses you can get in a game, to be fair, without actually having to go down and res yourself. Remember, you got a lot of utility to res. Also, don't forget, if you are going to pop this off, Signet of Mercy, and you versus something like a Necro who's down, or you versus like a team with a lot of CC, you need to make sure that you pop your stability, whether or not it's on your 7th skill there, or light from Sandy Ground, or whether or not it's from Virtue of Courage. Make sure you've got that stability. And also, you know, just popping it off there and actually, you know, kind of moving away is going to be really, really beneficial. The range is quite high, it's 900. Make sure you don't go out of range. But yeah, that's a big part of the build, to be fair. Getting those reses off. You might, and you know, it's a bit like having War Banner, for example, where you're gonna be getting those reses. I can't remember if the cast time's quicker, but it's like a lesser War Banner basically for Warrior. But you can't down opponents with it. You can only res allies, and it's just one. It's just one person. So you know, it's a lesser War Banner, a very lesser War Banner, but it's still decent. And it's what was used in the last NA monthly automated tournament, and that team won versus the Shout Warrior. Now, that game was a lot more about also a side noder who was decapping quite a lot, but this build played pretty well. And to be fair, I've had good matches in this, and more people are playing it. I've seen more people playing it in the last half year, I would say. I would say it's more fun and engaging than Firebrand Healing, in my opinion. I love core builds because I feel like there is a lot more simplicity to them, but there's a more skill behind them in the amount of, I don't know, in terms of usage, because I feel like with Firebrand you can kind of spam quite a lot and almost get away with being just carrying a team sometimes. But with this, you know, if you don't know when to use the abilities, things like, you know, giving your team protection or stability, or popping off a res at the right time, or just doing condition removal versus a condition heavy team, you know, I feel like, you know, that for me, it's just a bit more skillful, knowing when to use those skills and when to save them, really. You know, if you've got free conditions on you, you know when they're going to be coming off just through your natural build in the traits. You know you're going to be able to survive that, and it's going to be fine just through even just popping off an empower or a heal and here and there. You know, that's important over using, say, you know, a retreat just to get rid of a condition and whatnot, whereas you can use that on your team, for example. That's the build. This build I've done a couple of times in the last year. There's been some variations. I just thought I would go over the entire thing again. Really, again, Mace decisions. Think about what you want to do. If you want to rotate quite widely around the map, if you've got no fee, for example, you could probably use this a little bit better, or you know, because you're going to be going mid close. If you've got a fee, if maybe you're going to go too far sometimes, if your team pushes as well. It all depends on what's going to happen in the game, because people just rotate wherever the hell they want, even if you've got fief or not. Sword might be better for you to get around the map quicker. Tell your team at the beginning of the game that you are playing support, and you obviously want to be rotating around to the fights to support your team. They will thank you, even though they'll probably give you some lip. Okay, you are support. You don't want to be wanting people on a capture point alone, unless you know your team is winning elsewhere and they're going to be coming to you. The only reason, if you want to keep a point neutral and the rest of your team you know is winning their fights, then it's kind of okay. If you're losing the rest of the map, you need to get to them and you need to support. Even if you have to lose that capture point, sometimes that is the way to do it. Otherwise, everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to also check the description below, where you will have the Patreon link and you can support the channel. Don't forget, I am in school as well. School starts tomorrow. This is when I'm when I'm recording this video, and I do that, and I do content creation on Twitch as well, full-time, as well as putting out a video every 2-3 days on YouTube. I hope you're enjoying everything. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, do all the things. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope your year has started okay, and you are safe and good, and your family's good, and your friends are good, and you are good. See you soon. Thanks for watching.